Looking for cheap meal prep options for the whole entire week? I got you. Let's get going. Breakfast, lunch, supper, dessert. Alrighty, so we got breakfast starting off. We're gonna cook individual parts. There'll be timestamps in the video. You guys can just look at that. As far as breakfast goes, if you guys are from Ontario or just Canada in general, you'll know what Timmy's is. It's basics. We're basically going to be making a sausage farmer's wrap. So we got the bacon, the patties, and the egg whites. Now, I do know, you look, it's about 700 calories. Mine's about 400 calories for a little bit bigger of a serving, actually. If you make some good substitutions, try to avoid the oil, you'll be set for life. So basically what I did, start the oven, 350. I just have pre-cooked or pre-made hash browns. After that, we're gonna go in with 4 slices of bacon. The main substitute is obviously gonna be egg whites. I've got 300 grams of egg whites right here. That's where you're saving a lot of your calories. This is about the equivalent of calories for 1 egg, and you get 3-4 times the protein that you would. I'm gonna go 4 hash browns. I'm making 4 wraps, bacon time. 4 slices. If you want to save even more calories, use turkey bacon. I would have used it if I had it, but I don't. So you got to make do with what you have. Everything's set. Let's toss this in the oven. Cook it for about 15-20 minutes. Alrighty, so the next part's actually the easiest part of the whole breakfast recipe. It's actually just cooking the eggs. We have 300 grams of egg whites. Toss that in a pan. At all costs, try to avoid the oils, the butter, as that's where you're going to get most of your calories. And if you're going to put a tablespoon of butter, there's 70 calories right there that you could easily been avoided just by making sure you don't let the egg sit there and burn. So we're just going to cook it, and then we'll get to the assembly of the actual wrap itself. Alrighty, so we got the wraps put on tin foil. That's how I personally wrap it. You can put in containers if you want to do 1 container. I don't know. This is just how I do it. So obviously, there's the basics. 4 slices of bacon. Each one's gonna get 1 hash brown per thing. In terms of eggs, I'm not gonna equally measure it. I'm just gonna put it in. If you want to equally measure it, go ahead. The main reason I don't measure it is because I measured the total weight. So if I'm gonna eat all 4 wraps, even if it's divided differently, like let's say I get 80, 60, 60, 80, it's the same thing as if they were all 70. Because I'm still gonna get the full 300 grams worth, right? So it's not too big of a deal the way I see it, but if you want to equal, make it equal. At the end of the 4 days, you get the same amount as if you would have done it equal or not. So now you can't add a sauce. I personally add it afterwards because otherwise it gets soggy in the hash brown itself. So do about 1 tablespoon of sauce per thing. I use Chipotle. Do it either after or before, whatever you want. Anyways, that's your breakfast done. Let's move on to lunch. All right, on to lunch. I'll throw the ingredients up on screen because I'm just gonna do it part by part. That's all the ingredients you're gonna need for this meal prep. Put 200 grams of rice in that bad boy. Fill that guy up with water. I personally don't really measure. If you have the instructions for your rice, go ahead, just grab whatever. And just cook that on high heat till the rice is cooked. As far as the meat goes, I'm gonna put a whole pound of meat because I'm just cooking the whole thing. I'm gonna keep the rest for portion wise, but I will be taking 40, I think it'd be 40% of that for the 400 grams for my meal prep actually. Trusty taco seasoning, can't go wrong with that. Lather some on there. Seasoning, 0 calories. Take advantage of it. Make your shit taste good. High heat, however you want to cook it. Just get that thing cooked. Where is my spatula? Here it is. Alright, so meat is done. What you're gonna do, grab your rice, transfer that over, and then you're gonna add your sauce, about 1 cup to 1.5 cups, depending, your calories and all that. But I got it. It's about 1 cup. I'm gonna put about half of this. I've gone to the point where I've done this meal prep a lot of times, so I don't really need to measure everything. I kind of remember, like I know that this is 650, cups 250, there's 2 cups in here plus 150. Put about half, you'll get 1.5 cups. Boom. Simple math that everyone should kind of know. You're gonna mix this so the sauce obviously gets combined. Okay, so we got our 40 grams of cheese. sprinkle that up, and then just bring that in. I'm looking at it right now. Sauce wise, you could maybe put 2 cups in because it is not super saucy, but that's because the rice absorbs 90% of it. So overall, still gonna taste good. Trust me. Okay, take this off the heat. I'm not gonna show the part. Just divide it into 4 equal portions, however you want. Put it all in one bowl. Take a scoop at a time. Just divide it. Now let's go on to supper. All right, supper is very, very basic. Chicken parm. So honestly, you don't think you'd see this in a healthy diet. It's in a healthy diet, just trust me. A little bit of egg whites. I put 50 grams. Yes, measured with my brain. And some panko breadcrumbs. Actually, this one I do want to measure it like to the T. So we're gonna go for about 50 grams or 40 grams, 10 per chicken. Panko breadcrumbs. Cutting board. 2 chicken breasts. I have 3 here, so I guess I'm gonna just prep another one. Not in the chicken parm, but just overall. Watch out. Grab yourself a knife. Doesn't need to be the big one. If you guys want, cut the fat off your chicken. If not, then I guess don't. I don't know. But cut your chicken breast in half. And then if you have a meat hammer, use that. If you don't, well, I guess just beat it with your fists. Because what we want to do, those ones I'm just cooking. What we want to do is flatten it out so that we can put a good base for the chicken parm to go on there. And then while your hands are full of contamination, toss it in the egg whites and then the breadcrumbs. Get it fully coated. Don't be shy. You've got enough. And transfer over to your pan. So toss those in the oven, 400 for about 20 minutes or until it's cooked, so internal temperature of 165. And then after that, we'll get to the next steps. Okay, so while the chicken is in the oven, start boiling your pasta. So we're gonna go 300 grams of pasta. You can boil your water first. That's what I'm gonna do. And then afterwards, add the pasta. If you guys are using, because you can use any pasta you want. Say you're using egg noodles, just cook it, how you would according to what the directions are. Chicken is ready, almost actually. Now we're gonna make the chicken parm aspect. Pizza sauce, 0 sugar. Obviously gonna bring down the calories. Put about 1 tablespoon per thing. I'm actually gonna measure this one. I honestly measured everything beforehand, except for like the sauce for the rice. But like, I kind of did the math in my head, and I mean, makes sense. Like, you guys can't tell me my logic doesn't make sense. But anyways, put about 1 tablespoon of pizza sauce, marinara sauce, about whatever you're looking for on each chicken. We shredded 60 grams of cheese. Use cheddar, mozzarella, fat-free, not fat-free, whatever you want. And then we're going to toss it back in the oven for about 2 to 3 minutes. And that will obviously melt the cheese down and create our actual chicken parm. By that time, pasta should be ready as well. You're just going to divide that into 4 equal pieces, and then that'll be it. Alrighty, so you may be asking yourself, what's for dessert and how do you keep it low calorie, high protein? I'll show you guys real quick, because it's actually really not that hard. Grab 1 big bowl, and I'll show you guys the key ingredient. Just 1 second. Got the pack in there. We're gonna go 30 grams of protein powder. All right, like I told you guys, substitute milk for almond milk. That's where you're gonna save a lot of your calories. So typically you'd put 2 cups of milk for the Jello serving. Put the same amount, because the protein powder honestly doesn't make that big of a difference, and it's a little bit better to be less runny than too runny. So start with about 1 cup, whisk it, add. That's kind of my way of doing it. That's the dessert done. Literally what you're gonna do is you're gonna put this in the fridge. I'd say overnight, or about 6 hours already. So I hope those recipes help you guys in terms of your weight loss goals and stuff like that. This is my first time doing it, so I don't know how the actual process did go in terms of editing and all that. Hopefully it did go good. It's still, you know, pretty understandable. It wasn't too much like yapping about. But I will learn from this experience, make it better the second time, the third, the fourth, the fifth. Every time I'll find something to improve, make it a little bit easier for you guys to understand. That being said, that's pretty much everything. You got 4 meals for the whole day, except for snacks. But you know, if you can pick some healthy snacks options instead of going for those chips, and instead of grabbing an apple, you'll be golden. So I can't do all the job for you guys. You guys got to do something for yourself as well. But hopefully this gets you guys on a good foot. And that's it for today. Appreciate you guys watching. Either go watch my 75 hard, or we'll wait till next week for the meal prep series as well.